Nope. That's not it. I'm looking on the background thing. I'm working here, so I wanted to see if I could clean up the background a little bit. Nope, that's not it. Guess what? You're gonna get what you get. Hey everyone, happy Friday. I am super busy doing some amazing work here, and you guys are gonna see it in a minute. It's delivering a 5-day challenge for upcoming Forge training. But God interrupted all that because I um, I kind of messed up the other day pretty bad, and I wanted to share it with you because I don't want you to mess up. I wrote tons of notes. I'll be looking up at the screen every once in a while because I want you to get this point. It's so important, okay? So I really thought I was helping the other day, but I wasn't. I was sitting at home. I had a conversation with some of my clients, then I had a conversation with my wife, and all the conversation, I noticed one surprising thing. As soon as I pointed something out to them, as a coach, and I have a philosophy that my job is to open the spotlight into their issue because they're so close to it, they can't see it. And then they can see everything and you bring everything out to the light, John 14, right? And when you bring everything to the light, then they have opportunity to choose to move forward and do something with it. But when I was reflecting on what I did and the reaction, it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So to me, it was obvious, but I think too, I was in a work mode like I am now. I'm just intense, working, getting things done. And I expose with my clients and my wife. I'll tell you my wife's story. So my daughter's getting ready to go to a cheerleading camp, and she needs a suitcase. So we have the regular carry-on, then we have a big one you can check in, and but our big one, the handle broke. We just came back from my son's wedding. I don't know, everything breaks when you don't want it to, and the handle broke, and so she couldn't take that one because she can't pull it when it gets too heavy. I think she weighs maybe 100 pounds, and the bag's gonna weigh probably 500 pounds. Anyways, my wife said, "Hey, I'm going to Facebook Market. I'm gonna get her a used one just so she can have for this weekend." And I said, "You don't have to do that. Just let her use the other one, because." And this is where I messed up, going too fast, work mode. I said, "Because you usually won't get that done," and I meant in the context, okay? You won't get that done when you have so much on your plate. She's in work mode herself, and it's last minute. She has a couple hours to do it. And I said, and this is my judgment, I said, "You're not going to get that done." And she lost her mind. She said some choice words to me, which she deserves to say because I wasn't being understanding, supportive, or anything. But I thought I was helping. I thought I was delivering her a reality when she just needed me to hold space and let her discover how to make this happen. Okay, so here's what happened. Sometimes when your desires move faster than another person's ability to discover, it causes them to be defensive instead of transformation. That's what I want to share with you. Sometimes when I go too fast, I don't get the results of transformation from my clients, my relationship, my wife, my kids, everybody. Instead, I get a little resistance, and this time I felt attacked. I mean, like they literally attacked back at me, right? So when I move too fast, people often experience exposure instead of invitation. So I want to tell you this. What if I took more time and listened and exposed? What if I asked more questions instead of offering more answers? What if leadership isn't pulling people toward my conclusion, but creating space for them to discover God's truth for them? So those were questions I got as I was completing this form and preparing for sharing this with you. So let me just share with you some thoughts here, okay? Let me get to my outline because I got way too many notes. I'm going to talk way too much. It's coming. Here it is. Okay, I'm a liar. It's here. Okay, I lost it. It's up here. There it is. Okay, so then my question to you is this. What if I become an invitation? What if instead of delivering, right, suggestions or exposing more truth for them, what if I just asked more questions and created space like Christ does? What if I was moving too fast and instead of listening to someone's heart, I had to ask myself who in my life needs more listening than teaching? And for me, I felt like I wasn't delivering. I was taking it too slow and it wasn't connecting, but it was really my agenda, not theirs. So Oh, here's my outline, my thing. I want to make sure I get this. So God showed me to lead with patience and be an invitation for a relationship before correction, correcting them, correcting what they're doing, and helping them out. Seriously, I just didn't want my wife to have that pressure, get the suitcase. My daughter could suffer a little. It's just one weekend, whatever. And instead of listening why she wants to do it, she was running with like a chicken hair cut off. Instead of asking how I could support, I delivered instead of helping her discover how she could do it. So my wisdom might have been right, but my timing and approach was not received well. And my question to you is this: what if I asked 3 sincere questions before I gave any advice, suggestion, or delivery? So maybe my intentions, and maybe you could relate too, sometimes yours is right, it's spot on, but it wasn't received well. And what if I asked 3 sincere questions first before I gave any suggestions or advice? People are transformed more by discovery of their own direction than by me telling what to do. And if I led like Jesus with patience, curiosity, I wonder if those relationships that morning would have been more enriched. So I'm really telling on myself right now, I made a big mistake. Dude, I was sitting with it heavy. I mean, they yelled at me. And I'll give you part 2 later, but how it got resolved. But I want to tell you right now, I screwed up big time. So let me just say it again. I realized for myself, I hurt people deeply when I don't discover and help them discover what they're trying to conclude, and I deliver them a result. Now, you can say all the jokes you want. I know men want results. We get things done. Women listen. But you know what? We have masculine and feminine energy. And at that time, I needed to use more feminine energy and discover versus deliver results. Then I noticed my good intentions was more my agenda than theirs. Ouch. That's where it really hurts. I don't know if you can relate, but for me, that hurt a lot when I sat in this because it was not what I wanted in these relationships. And remember, I had multiple encounters in one morning. I mean, that's how bad I was. So I had to learn this lesson. But here's what God taught me. He said, be patient and become an invitation for relationships, not correcting any relationships. And as a coach, I'm going to tell you right now, that's very hard and it's a big gift for me to learn. So this applies to you, okay? Because wisdom, your wisdom, like mine, might be right, but your timing approach determines whether it's received. Are you an invitation for transformation, or are we dictating our agenda on them? That's what I discovered in my question to you. So here's what we could do. Ask just 3 simple questions. Create that space for them to discover their own answer versus me delivering a piece of advice to them or you delivering a piece of advice. And remember, our intentions is not necessarily wrong. It was just how we became. I wasn't an invitation for them to have their own transformation. Instead, I had my own agenda, and I had to go quick. Here's some advice, and they felt it, and I felt it. The way they came back at me, I could say one word: they attacked me. And at that moment, I was like, "What's their problem?" But then I realized it was my problem. I effed that one up pretty good. So, in closing, lead like Jesus. Be patient, curious, and become an invitation. So I'd love not to be out there alone and know that I screw up relationships pretty good. But if you ever had this experience, I'd love for you to comment, reply. I'm going to give you a download sheet of this for you to download the process, how to become an invitation. And if that works for you, reply back, tell me, comment, connect with me, let me know if that worked for you. Because literally I spent hours on this, just get my story clear, what really happened, get my gift from God, that it was more my agenda, that they resisted my advice versus me being an invitation. It made me slow down and say, okay, then how do I become an invitation for other people? How can I create that space better and having self-awareness when I'm pushing my own agenda on them? So could you communicate with me, however it looks like, and just let me know if this was a gift for you. because that's my intentions of these lives. Yes, be vulnerable, tell you how I screw up. Yes, tell you how I have success. Yes, tell you just my life. But at the end, if it doesn't relate to you and you can't use it for yourself, then it becomes more about me than me making disciples and giving you a gift. Okay? Let me see. Henry, Christy. Oh, you know what? These YouTube handles, I can't figure out who people are. So we're going to have to learn how to learn each other's names and comment below or something. Let me know who you are and where you live, because I really like to know. So I will attach to this how to become an invitation process sheet, just in case you screw up like me. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. How good? Turn off.